All right, Sunday, August 21st. I appreciate you guys for joining me here on the greatest transfer of wealth. This is your host, Zach Rector, coming to you live for a Sunday night session. If you're listening on the podcast, you probably won't catch it till tomorrow, but make sure you got the notification bells turned on for the YouTube and the Twitter so that you can know when we're going live. We try to stay consistent, but we also pop on here for random late night sessions where we're going to run it up as well. Tonight's live stream, we're going to be talking about the potential for a forced buyback. No clickbait, no clickbait. Nope, we are going to get into it. We're going to talk about the potential. We found a new document that talks about restricting investors from participating in the new system. So we're going to be talking about some new documents that we did come across. Okay, this is not clickbait. A forced XRP buyback is tonight's topic after we get into the full update. So I appreciate you guys for joining me tonight. Let's take a look here at our cryptocurrency prices. For our Bitcoin, we were at 21,473 bucks. 21,000 for Bitcoin. We topped out at 25K last week, bringing us all the way down to 20,700. We'll take a look at the chart here in a second. And Ethereum is at 1600. XRP is at 34 cents. Just broke through, showing 33.98 right now. I just bought XRP at 33 cents this last 2 days ago when we were down at 33 cents. What a pleasure, what a joy that was. Let's move on over to this chart. So this was the chart I shared on August 6th with my Discord group. I said, guys, my targets for the full moon time frame, which is about 5 days before, 5 days after, for Bitcoin is 20,700. So if you look at this chart here, I put target achieved. We reached down here to 20,050 essentially, right below 20,800. So we did achieve that target, and that signal was put out to the Discord group on August 6th. And we're just doing simple technical analysis here, looking at these markets, and that was kind of a lucky call, I guess, but we've been making money shorting Bitcoin recently. I was going over my numbers with my Discord group on Saturday, our weekly call, and I'm up 40% in the last month, 3 to 4 on my trades. The one trade that I lost, I was actually break even. So, but that's just a little fun. We'll see what happens, with the trading hustle, with the trading game. This is the most manipulated asset class in the world, in all of markets. So I don't really have high expectations, but nonetheless, the important part is that we're able to take advantage of these opportunities for buying XRP and other assets at a discount, at a cheaper price than the week before. We understand during these times we can have conviction with our investments because we knew it was coming and we know where it goes. Very simple. We knew the price drop was coming and we know where it goes. And that was a very simple signal, and it came in late. This is the thing about this 3 for 4. The one trade was break even because I got out last week right before it dipped, and I knew that was going to happen. I got out at break even because I'd been in the trade for a long time, over a week, and I said, I'm getting my chips off the table. I'm back at break even. Even though this thing's looking like my call might come through, it was coming in late. Because the time frame is about 5 days before, 5 days after that moon phase pattern, that window of opportunity. Waters Above Crypto, huge shout out, put us onto that program months ago, back at the start of Rosh Hashanah, back at the start of the Jewish New Year. And there's a reason why we cover that too. The calendars, the dates, the numerology all matters. It's actually crazy. A lot of people dismiss it. Crazy talk, numerology. No, absolutely. There's a rhyme and a reason here for all of this. And it was very simple. This market was getting too overheated. It was a very easy call. So it was funny. It's like, BitBoy came out and said something. I know some other folks said something about, bull runs back on. Right. And so it was, the hype was all there and it got extended out, but this correction was due. And so, with that being said, we're just watching these markets, and our program has been pretty dialed in as of late. So continuing on, we had in the world stage events, we're going to go through current events, and then we will be going into our cryptocurrency news, talking about that forced XRP buyback tonight. Really looking forward to this conversation with you guys. I'll be taking some questions at the end of the show, and we can open up for conversation. Really looking forward to it. Thank you for joining me. Putin ally assassination attempt reportedly ends in daughter's death. Yes, so it's being reported out of Russia that the daughter of this gentleman here, Putin ally, was assassinated in this apparent targeted attack on an ally of Mr. Putin over there in Russia. Now, we're watching it unfold. It's really chaos over there in that region with Ukraine, with Russia, and some of these other countries, and with what's at stake here. There's big time moves being made. This goes to show that. This confirms what we've been talking about, that the situation has gone live. The situation's hot in multiple regions. And I don't like using the World War III term. I think it's too dramatic, and I pray that we don't have the World War. But we have multiple war fronts that are being fought, that are going live, and you have, espionage, you have hacks, you have situations like this, which is, unfortunate to see. But nonetheless, we continue to watch and try to get good information out of that region and dissect it. Mr. Biden, make sure to keep on sending about $1 billion per week over to Ukraine, continuing the money laundering operation that is the country of Ukraine. But nonetheless, we continue to watch this situation, and we pray for peace. This 70-year channel is quite powerful. This is from HOZ on Twitter. 70-year channel that he found. It has accurately given top and bottom signals. If true, then 1776 through 1850 on the S&P 500 in 2023. So what he's saying here is we are about to have a serious correction down below 2000, down to 1776 to 1850 for the S&P 500. Okay, so if you look at this chart going back here a ways, that chart. Going back a ways here on this chart, 1975, 1982, and in 2009, we all went down and touched this bottom support level on this channel. Okay, so we will continue to watch that. We've seen actually multiple technical analysis guys on Twitter sharing similar charts. So we'll continue to watch that as well. For us, it's been a very simple call. We have not cleaned out the space. We have not cleaned out the financial system. We have not burned it down. We have not done and had the complete controlled demolition. The cyber attacks where systems go offline, where the exchanges get hacked. We know they're going insolvent, but we still have a ways to go. The purge is still underway. Okay? Same thing's happening in the traditional stock market as well, and we continue to watch that. I don't have any stock plays at the moment. The only stock plays I'd be looking at would be early pre-IPO investment. If you don't get in early, then the opportunity is not as big. It's very simple. But continuing on, U.S. mortgage lenders are starting to go broke. Independent mortgage lenders are seeing their credit lines cut. Liquidity crisis confirmed, and we're going to continue to watch that situation as well. We just go case by case here. The liquidity crisis is one that we're seeing, and the folks that we invest with talk about solving these problems, these massive problems. And right here, you're seeing that this party's up. The mortgage lenders are starting to go broke. Independent mortgage lenders are seeing their credit lines cut. You're seeing this in other businesses too. Business lines are getting cut. Working capital getting cut. The mortgage interest rates have gone much higher. They finally tapered off a little bit, but the Fed still has a ways to go with the rate hikes. According to their meetings, according to what they're saying, are they going to bluff and pivot? Yes, eventually. Eventually, Fed Chair Powell and the Federal Reserve will have to pivot from what they're doing now. Or maybe they won't even be included in the reset restructuring. See, there's a ways to go here, folks. And I've been telling my people that here, we have a situation that we need to be prepared for the next 12 to 18 months. We're going to be in a storm. Especially in the United States. Other countries are further along, actually, in fixing their financial system, fixing their economy. They're already collapsing as we speak, much further along. So maybe they will recover faster. Here in the United States, we're just starting to see it. So that's why I say in America, folks, we are in it for a while. The system can be turned back on quickly, but there's going to be a lot that needs to be rebuilt and restructured, repriced. And we're going to get into that when we talk about the XRP buyback later on in this show. And yes, we're not scared to talk about the buyback. The historical precedent is buying back reserve currencies, i.e. the gold purchasing that took place. Inflation is hitting the average Joe very, very bad. This is the average CPI numbers year over year, but this is utility costs, gasoline, food at home, and electricity. Upwards of 30%. So while they tell us that the CPI, the phony fake CPI data that they give us at 8.5%, well, if you look at utilities, gasoline, food at home, electricity, the stuff that actually matters, we're at 30% plus. In some of the other areas, it's even worse. Like we're seeing in Europe, their price of gasoline and energy has gone up 50 to 100%. Representative Jim Jordan, want to own a car? That will cost you 11% more than last year. Want to fly on a plane? That will cost you 23% more than last year. How about staying in a hotel? That will cost you 40% more than last year. He says Joe Biden's America. I think Jim understands that lots being reset, restructured. I think that he's actually one of the good guys, not to get political, but I do like what I hear out of him. I always want more action, less talking out of these guys. They take a stand, but they're not getting anything done. But Jim Jordan, his message, very simple, calling out, whether Biden's running the show, whether this is Obama's third term, this program's not working out. That's not political. Is the recession impacting you right now? That's not political. I've been trying to tell people, over the last week, we just went crazy on TikTok, triggered all the snowflakes got triggered. They keep on stitching me. It's just crazy. Hilarious, actually. But it's like, how's your program working out? Very simple. Very simple. They have no response. They don't want to be held accountable, and they don't want to admit that this is an absolute failure. And in my opinion, it's a controlled collapse. It's a controlled demolition. So Jim calling it out like it is, that's good to see. But, folks, we have a serious situation that's going to take us out a while. So once again, U.S. oil inventories are depleting quickly. Only massive transfers from the SPR have keeping the inventory somewhat stable. Now imagine what will happen soon when the SPR runs low. That's your strategic petroleum reserve. So yeah, we still are right there on the brink of the oil and gas shortages hitting the United States. Burning that strategic petroleum reserve right now, when we're not in a wartime, when we're not in an emergency, we should not be in this situation. Yeah. And these people are walking into their own demise. That's why I just laugh at these triggered TikTok folks. I just laugh. And pray and say, hopefully they can figure it out. But they're walking into their own demise, right? And if you go back, it had to be this way, in my opinion. We had to be put through this. And hopefully we make it out with somewhat of a country on the other side, somewhat of we haven't absolutely bent over and been given up to the New World Order, right? It's very simple. We can talk about that term. We can talk about that agenda, right? Hopefully. Continuing on. China. Okay, so we're going to compare China and the United States, the two different situations. Every country is going through its own unique situation right now. So wherever you're tuning in, which folks in China probably can't even tap into this stream, but let's talk about this. Chinese real estate market is considered the most important sector in the world. The total value stands at $60 trillion, more than the entire U.S. equity market and 2 times our housing market. It's unraveling now, with the S&P predicting another 30% drop, 1.5 times worse than the 2008 crash. So this Chinese property market has gone absolutely bust. Continuing on, Chinese citizens are obsessed with real estate. And by the way, this is from Market Sentiment on Twitter. Huge shout out, Market Sentiment. Chinese citizens are obsessed with real estate as their stock market is completely opaque and still hasn't recovered from the 2008 crash. It was the real estate market that propelled China's rapid growth ever since the 2008 crisis. As investors piled onto real estate, 70% of China's household wealth is now tied to properties. The real estate craze was so high that buyers had to pay up to 30% of the home value and start paying their mortgage even before the construction started. As with all types of hype bubbles, people thought that the value of real estate would never decrease. Home buyers would spend as much as 23 times their annual income to buy a home, with the mortgage sometimes taking up more than half their gross take-home pay. This led to property developers creating a Ponzi scheme where they sell projects that haven't yet started and use that money to start other projects, and the cycle continues. The problem became public when the pre-sale properties were not being completed. So and they got the charts here to show this, to verify this data, these statements. As more and more properties fell behind on constructions, buyers have staged a mortgage boycott, where all home buyers with outstanding mortgage loans will stop paying unless construction resumes. This is a vicious cycle where home buyers are halting mortgage payments, which then would strain the property developers, causing further construction delays. Sales of apartments nationwide have slumped annually for 13 consecutive months, forcing the government to step in. The United States Federal Reserve even came on record to say that the fragility in China's real estate sector could spread to the U.S. if it deteriorated dramatically. China, instead of playing it safe, has done the unthinkable by lowering interest rates and injecting more money into the economy as a last-ditch effort to stay afloat for a little bit longer. But economists think that this could be too little, too late, and too inefficient. Same story that's happening in the United States. Spoiler alert. I'm going to go over the United States data in the next post. Spoiler alert, same situation taking place right here. As Goldman Sachs pointed out, mortgage boycotts have made people reluctant to buy a home, which resulted in 30% lower sales. So now people aren't even buying real estate, period. Right? The whole thing's just basically shut down. The most important asset class in the world. This in turn reflects a loss of confidence in the housing market and throughout the entire economy. Since China publishes its own numbers and maintains an extremely tight grip on the economy, they can keep kicking the can further and further into the future. But eventually data will come out and it's going to have serious consequences in the US as well. The US has substantially increased investment in China over the past decade. Talk about BlackRock too. Adding to this, the US equity market has also exposure to Chinese companies. The direct impact might be low, but the perception of things getting worse could have ripple effects on our markets. Wow. You don't say. Ripple effects on our markets. Really? I didn't even read this full thread. This is my first time reading through this full thing. A lot of research went into this, and if you found it insightful, please share it by retweeting the first tweet. Yeah, so huge shout out to Market Sentiment. But he says, the direct impact might be low, but the perception of things getting worse could have ripple effects on our markets. I.e., it's going to get a whole lot worse. And it's not little ripples, it's financial tsunami. As we've been talking about on this show the whole time. Let's move on over to the United States. As I take a sip of the cold beverage. Hey, cheers to everyone tuning in tonight. I do appreciate you guys. We have super chats in the house. Dean, 5 spot. How do you feel about the videos coming out on China's impending economic collapse? The videos out of that country scare me. They frighten me. I pray for that country. Yeah. Dean, I appreciate that super chat. Thank you, brother. How do you feel about the videos? You know, it's crazy what we're seeing. It's insane. I pray for those people over there. Every country in the world is dealing with its own situation right now, right? Every country across this planet has its own deal. Talking about the United States, this is from Daniela DiMartino Booth. Talking about quantitative tightening, okay? So this is a post she's retweeting. The original post talks about QT, Fed style. Fed's balance sheet isn't much different today at 8.85 trillion than when it started tightening monetary policy back in March, when they said that they were going to start the quantitative tightening and when they've started to raise the interest rates now. Total assets have shrunk by just 100 billion since April. 25 billion a month. So let's get these numbers straight. Nearly 9 trillion. Let's simplify and round up for everyone. Nearly 9 trillion of a balance sheet for our Federal Reserve. Since April, they have only shrunk that balance sheet by 100 billion. $9 trillion balance sheet. They've only shrunk it by 25 billion a month. Okay. Absolute joke. And we knew that they were going to have no buyers. Back when they were going to start this program, I said that, folks, there's no way. They have no buyers. Who's going to buy all this crap from them? Treasury notes, treasury bonds, the 2-year, the 5-year, the 10-year. What a terrible deal. Who's going to buy that? Who wants any assets of the United States government? Right? Like, they have no buyers. I don't even know who that 25 billion a month has been going to. Who's been buying that? Who's stupid enough to make that deal? right? But Daniela says, and markets are just now feeling the effects of draining liquidity. Wait until October after first full month of 60 billion in treasuries quantitative easing is in the books. I'm going to be interested to see if they actually do that, if they actually get rid of that 60 billion per month. But this goes to show that they're just starting. There was two programs that the Federal Reserve was going to do. Two levers. Let's make this simple. Two levers that the United States Federal Reserve was going to pull. They were going to raise interest rates to kill off demand, and then they were going to start quantitative tightening, reducing their balance sheet. Not continuing to buy these assets and propping up these markets, propping up the dollar, continuing to inject and stimulate the economy in the United States dollar in every way possible. They have multiple different solutions, right? Multiple little levers that they can pull. And then you can just get the federal government. In the past couple of years, we do stimmy checks. We pass all these bills and we give out all that free money. And then it happens down at the state level too. Like it was just from the top down. Everyone wins a prize. Everyone gets a UBI check. But Daniela says that the markets are just now feeling the effects of draining liquidity. And what was that article that we shared right here from FX Hedge? U.S. mortgage lenders are starting to go broke. Independent mortgage lenders are seeing their credit lines cut. So we look at this Fed balance sheet chart. I mean, it's an absolute joke. They cannot get anyone to buy these assets. That's the very top of that chart right there. It's kind of zoomed in for you guys, but you guys can see that we're at 8.85 trillion. Okay. And they've only reduced it by 100 billion. So that's why it's got a slight curve. I got to zoom in on the chart for you guys so you can even see the chart slightly go down. Absolute joke. And we said that from the very beginning that there was no way that they were going to be able to get people to buy this thing. Hey, I see we got 600 with us in the live stream. It's an absolute party. We got a couple hundred on TikTok. Thank you so much for joining. If you guys could tap the screen on TikTok and share the stream. And then on YouTube, if you guys could just smash that thumbs up for me, I'd greatly appreciate that. And huge shout out to everyone in this community that's helping me share this message far and wide. We're about to smash through 40,000 followers on the YouTube program. Thank you so much for tuning in. Okay. Tonight, we were going to be talking about this forced buyback of XRP. What are we talking about with this whole situation with the buyback? Are they going to let us own XRP? Well, starting out, I wanted to share this tweet from Nathaniel Rothschild. I don't even know. Can we confirm if this guy's an actual Rothschild? But this guy's on Twitter, and I would definitely listen to anything that a Rothschild would have to say. One of the most elite families going back centuries now, controlling the private central banking. You will all be forced to use XRP, direct or indirect. Now, we can see now that the main utility for XRP is wholesale payments, liquidity solutions on the back end. It's not designed for a retail consumer. It's not designed for us to really buy our coffee with, right? It's meant to move trillions of dollars. We just haven't gotten the green light. U.S. regulatory clarity will be coming in soon. This Ripple lawsuit will be over soon. And then we can start solving trillion-dollar problems, and that'll be really fun for Ripple and team and everyone who owns XRP and is building on XRP, because it's going to be one of the best projects to be tapped into. But Nathaniel Rothschild right here is saying you will all be forced to use XRP, direct or indirect. And that, I think, he's just clarifying the point, basically, that what we've been saying this whole time, right? It's not meant for retail use. It's meant for wholesale treasury flows, back-end payments that are big, not little deals, not little payments. Well, then Digital Asset Investor gets shared this by Nate855 on Twitter. Nathan Price on Twitter, huge shout out. Digital Asset Investor shares this with all of us. Put this in the "it's not for us" file. Hold your XRP close. And if we look at this, this is from, I pulled this up. It's from Perkins Coie. It's a document, the virtualcurrencyreport.com, and you can go pull this up. Could blockchain push syndicated loans over the regulatory edge? This is from Perkins Coie, the ones who gave Ripple the green light. They basically, advised Ripple at one point. And then they have also been representing Ethereum in the consensus, right? But put this in a "it's not for us" file. Check out what they say. And they actually quote the World Economic Forum website in this article, in this document, in this report here. They say, the SEC has also filed a brief arguing that syndicated loan participants were securities, although the court concluded they were not. Restricting investors might help, and then they link a World Economic Forum website. Lenders are also exploring use of blockchain to facilitate the formation and operation of syndicates, and they link the WEF website. Continuing, if these financial institutions use the technology to reduce settlement times from several weeks to a day or two, or how about 3 to 5 seconds on the XRP ledger. However, this could broaden the secondary market in funded loans and invite reconsideration of their classification as securities. Investor expectations may become murkier. However, if a broad range of investors naively acquire loans, if attorneys can find sympathetic plaintiffs who lost money in syndicated loans, this could provide the impetus for a court to reclassify the loans as securities. If syndicated loans were treated as securities, they would need to comply with the requirements for private placements. This suggests that it may be worthwhile to restrict users of the new system to qualified institutional buyers. That's the main point right there. That's the main kicker, where we get into this forced buyback like they did with gold back in the day. Roosevelt bought back the gold, right? And then price set the gold at a higher price after they took it in. And guys, this is like DAI says, there's a reason why we've been able to cover the stories in regards to XRP every single day, because it's a nonstop full-time job in this community, which huge shout out to the XRP community. I mean, it's the one community that I felt like I always resonated with in the crypto space, because it's like, we're having the adult conversation. We're going to solve huge problems. This is legit. We don't have downtime. We don't have BS. We don't need to upgrade. It just works. It makes sense. And we have a transparent company in Ripple that is going around and making all these partnerships. Where this conversation gets really interesting, though, is what is the XRP price going to go to? For us that are acquiring this little coin, this little piece of digital gold that's going to run the liquidity solutions and the trillions of dollars daily for the new financial system, are we going to be able to hold this coin? Are they going to buy it back from us? What would the buyback price be? And this is a legitimate document here put out by Perkins Coie, lawyers that are basically helping with this whole rollout of digital technology. These lawyers are one of the main corporate law firms that represents, their motto here, counsel to great companies. They're working with the biggest and best in the whole damn system. But I wanted to bring this up, and this is where this gets interesting, is, let me see if I can, none of these, right here, I pulled up the Fifth Amendment. The Fifth Amendment creates a number of rights relevant to both criminal and civil legal proceedings. Primarily, in criminal cases, the Fifth Amendment guarantees your right to a grand jury and forbids double jeopardy and protects against self-incrimination. That's cool. That's a nice right to have. But the second part of the Fifth Amendment is what we're going to be using in the class action lawsuit, is what we're going to be using in the Supreme Court battle, is what we would be using with John Deaton and the likes of John Deaton representing us in a court of law here in the United States, where thank God they gave us this Constitution. The second part of the Fifth Amendment says, it also requires that due process of law be part of any proceeding that denies a citizen life, liberty, or property, and requires the government to compensate citizens when it takes private property for public use. Let me give you the direct quote from the Constitution. Nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. This is where I thank Jimmy Valley, Val Hill Capital, writing up a proposal for the Federal Reserve. Is it ridiculous? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. As someone who has created securities, is a securities lawyer, to come up and make the case and justification that XRP, the buyback price should be $30-something thousand. Oh my gosh, it's insane. But he actually makes the case without just compensation. If you guys want to go this route, if you want to take our XRP, we can make a case that the value is in the, yes, the market cap is in the trillions of dollars. It's much larger than that. Especially as we see this new financial system roll out. They've held back regulatory clarity in the United States and other markets. Other markets are further ahead, but everyone's waiting on the United States. Everyone's waiting to see what happens with this US dollar reserve currency. And the situation has gone with the military war, right? The world stage events has gone live. And they've also been aligning financially with the BRICS nations. Militarily, financially, we're starting to see everyone's dropping the dollar. Everyone's dropping our SWIFT system. Do we have a plan? Do they have an offer for us as XRP holders? Do they need our XRP that bad? I just shared a post in my last live stream where I was talking about how, I forget the name of a guy. It was a guy who's been in payments since early 2000, where he was talking about how banks don't care that Ripple owns so much of the XRP escrow. That allows them to basically pre-allocate the XRP to themselves to have options on that XRP. But then they don't care that the regular person, the regular Joe Blow, is going to make some money off this thing. So do I want to sell back my XRP at $3? Do I want to sell it back at $1? Do I want to sell it back at 10,000? Well, at 10,000, I would sit down at the table. If I'm going to be honest, at $10,000, I would sit down at the table, right? Like that'd be kind of cool. But we really make the case on this channel that if XRP is going to get up any percentage of these different markets, of these different asset classes, of these different flows of liquidity, we go to a 3-digit price, minimum 2 to 3 digits, just to get the party started, just to flip the switch and turn on real chunks of the liquidity, real chunks, portions of SWIFT, portions of the clearinghouse in America. We get smart contracts built on it. And now you've seen some Codius videos have been flowing around recently on Twitter and within the YouTube community as well. So that's been interesting to watch, is that Codius is starting to ramp up and pick up a little bit of attention right there too, because it's like, what's been going on with that? The most advanced smart contracts platform known to man is what they called it. And so we're waiting here. Now, if we go look at these TA guys that throw out ridiculous price predictions of, in this case, Dark Defender's throwing up $30. I'm going to show a chart from Crypto Bull, so everyone will get upset about that because these guys have been wrong forever. But I got to show you guys these charts. I got to show you these predictions because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter when it happens. We're going to do something. The United States is playing a game. The United States is stalling the whole world. The United States Western power, cabal central bankers that control our country are trying to keep control. They want to roll out their system. The New World Order, complete digitized beast system. A lot of people sold their souls to the dollar, but we've been rolling around with fiat money. They're moving to plastic. They're moving to polymer in UK. Guys, the end goal is to go cashless, full CBD control, surveillance of everything. We're waiting to see what happens here. But to me, the movement's set in stone. What world we're going to be in and when it's going to happen, that's the big what ifs. When is XRP going to moon? I don't know. When is it going to go to $30? I don't know. When is it going to go to 3 digits? I don't know. But I'm confident I've invested like it will go to those prices with ease. We haven't had the utility bull run. So we've just been playing in the crypto space so far. Establishing a new world reserve currency, a digital one, is what needs to be done. XRP's already done it. That's the whole point. Ripple stated it was so simple in 2017 that they had a simple goal of making XRP a world reserve currency. Make it as liquid as a G10 currency. In this new financial system, you're going to have CBDCs underneath XRP. When it comes to value flows, liquidity flows, treasury flows, money value moving on this planet in this reality. Whether the earth is flat or a sphere, it doesn't matter. We have to solve trillion-dollar problems. And Ripple has set up themselves to be a lender of last resort in this coming liquidity, debt crisis, these price actions. Everyone wants to beat me up. I see the comments every time I show crypto bull. I get, these are such vague charts. He doesn't even put the price right there, right? Whatever. He just says that we're repeating a historical pattern on a more massive scale, breakout, falling wedge, explosion. If we repeat this, get ready for your rockets. It's cute. It's funny. People get upset. People get bent out of shape. Well, you're just being impatient, right? But the reason why I pulled up this chart, look at that spring that's being built. If you look at that chart, it looks like a spring that's about to go, right? That falling wedge is like, if you visualize like a spring, look how much bigger that wedge is from that bottom one. I like to say that I'm doing doofus more on TA. Throw up a couple lines, see the support and resistance, check the moving average. It's a lagging indicator. Check a couple other indicators and maybe the moon phase. And I call it doofus more on TA. Well, anybody can look at this chart and see that when this thing breaks out, it's stupid. $10, $30, $100. There's no limit on this thing. We're debating right now what the buyback price would be and what the set flip of the switch price is after settlement, after the staged lawsuit's over, after the show's over. Ripple wins the lawsuit. Trump returns back to being president. Yes, sorry, that's included. Whether that offends you or not, I'm sorry. Yes, that's part of the story. You can choose to be offended or you can partake in the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. How's your program working out so far? I don't get offended by anyone. No one can hurt my feelings. And my program is watching what these elites are doing, watching what's going on at these closed door meetings. And then we look up these charts, these memes, and we see Dark Defender. I love his technical analysis work. It's been pretty good. XRP can touch $30 close to the settlement. Time is passing 1 minute at a time. I'm back and analyze tomorrow. Love you all. So it looks like he's going to be coming back with some fresh TA after taking a break. So nonetheless, guys, $30. You look at this chart, massive breakout. Absolutely massive breakout. Looks like a good time. That chart looks like a good time. Let's talk about our precious metals though real quick. You have been reading about gold leaving the COMEX vault at huge rates. But is it really significant? The COMEX has a gold kilo vault, and yesterday, 41% of their gold said bye-bye and left. So the COMEX vaults have a gold kilo vault, and nearly half that vault left. The physical gold left. Boy, the flip of the switch moment includes precious metals. If you guys aren't seeing that, if you guys aren't tapped in on that, please understand that. And I actually wish I had a little bit more silver, but I've been accumulating what I can afford. You guys know me. Irresponsible with XRP. Buying XRP basically primarily during the bear market here. Okay? But the silver, the gold, these markets are absolutely jacked up. And we're starting to see the data. We're starting to see the reportings here that confirm that. We saw China is now basically ending, one of the largest banks in China is ending the derivatives for gold paper trading in China. It's one of their largest banks. No more derivatives trading for gold. Period. Folks, I've heard price predictions for gold anywhere from 10 to 15. If we're going to talk ridiculous price predictions after this flip of the switch, after the reset, whatever you want to call it, what's been publicized for everyone to now see, gold goes 10,000 plus from what I'm hearing. Silver goes to 3 digits. XRP, we talk about that all the time. I'm here for 2-3 digits to get started, to feel like we've actually accomplished half of our mission. I always say, if we're halfway wrong, we still change our lives. We still create a little bit of profit. If we're halfway wrong. But everything that we're seeing, everything from the documents that we covered here tonight as regards Perkins Coie, talking about restricting investors from being able to buy these assets, buy these collateralized loans. And this is where XRP gets interesting because every other asset on the XRP ledger is represented as an IOU. XRP is the native currency of the ledger. Everything else is an IOU. XRP is a whole different beast, completely different beast when it comes to this cryptocurrency space. And I mean, folks, we're going to be talking about in my Discord group a lot about our wealth strategy for when this moment happens. Whether you create generational wealth when XRP goes to $10, $50 or $100, or you got gold and silver, you got other things, you got a business. What are we going to be doing with this when it comes? To me, it's inevitable. It's a matter of time here. And what an amazing time to be alive, watching this system unfold, being able to take part in this transfer of wealth. That's what this show's about. Like I said earlier, I mentioned Trump again. I can't mention Trump, right? I do think that part of it's coming. He's coming back. A lot of people, are going to be kind of mesmerized, I think, after this all is done and plays out. It's like XRP is going to do something crazy. Trump will return, and it's like, I'm not really concerned about being right and being able to say, oh, I told you so, I called this. It's more about, are we going to survive? Like, the situation's that crazy. The liquidity, debt crisis, health crisis, food, water, everything is that insane that I always just, may God be with us. I mean, look at the health crisis, the data that's been coming out in regards to that. Absolutely insane. YouTube, if you could smash that thumbs up while we have 900 of us in the party tonight. And can we take a sip of a adult beverage or something cold? I do appreciate you guys for tuning in tonight. What an absolute amazing opportunity here. Sunday night, greatest transfer of wealth in world history. We're finally tapping in. We're hitting mass awareness. And I think a lot of people, they see surface level, they see a Trump video, but then if they come join our live stream, they'll just see, it's like, we're just trying to help people out. We're just trying to help people ride out this storm. I think that if, whether you like Trump, whether you don't, it doesn't matter whether Biden's running the country or, it's whoever, it doesn't matter. I started my business when Obama was president. Whatever it takes to get you motivated in action. I don't try to do doom and gloom. Sometimes I get those comments, people saying, oh, you're all doom and gloom. I said, well, listen to another stream, because if I didn't talk about our program, I'm like the most transparent with our program. And I just call it my program because that's what, we do here is, influencer gurus. I hate to say that. I don't consider myself that. I just consider myself a simple guy reporting the news and sharing how I'm losing money, how I plan on making money, what little money I'm making, how I want to make more money. Let me take some questions. So let's open it up for Q&A. Thank you for joining me tonight. I do appreciate you guys. The community just continues to grow exponentially. 222 on TikTok, 900 with us on YouTube. What a blessing. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you guys had a fantastic weekend. We'll continue to watch. Let's roll through rapid fire Q&A. Thank you so much. Cheryl, thank you so much. She says, I look forward to ending my week listening to these chats. I appreciate that. Love the content. Yeah, thank you. What's the news on XRP? I would go back and watch this stream. There's nothing really fresh. We just found some most recent documents. But yeah, nothing really fresh at the time of this recording. I did buy more XRP at 33 cents, though. Absolutely. So get this. Get this with the numerology, with the crazies, with the Freemasons. In the 33rd week of this year, XRP goes to 33 cents. It's just like, well, numerology or not, someone explain that. Is that just a coincidence? I guess it's just a coincidence. I'll have a drink to that. In the 33rd week, XRP goes to 33 cents. Baba Kug says Masons are in control, right? Whatever. The Riddlers say Masons are in control. Oh, it's funny. Yeah, never mind. I can only say so much. Zach, two prices of XRP, private, public. What are your thoughts? I do think that they're running tests on the back end. I do think that eventually they have to merge that. I think that that's the XRP merge is from the trials, from all the people that have been building on the back end, doing deals on the back end, merging with us in the public space that are building on XRP, investing in XRP. That's going to be the merge for XRP, is the pools of liquidity opening up for all eyes to see. We might not even see all of it, and we really might not. We don't need to. It's just a matter of the settlement taking place on the ledger and the need for that XRP currency. Not one of these use cases where you don't need the currency. You need XRP, right? Yeah, ain't no such thing as coincidences. That's what I thought. 33rd 33rd week of the year, XRP goes to 33 cents. It's pretty crazy, isn't it? All my money is in precious metals. Brian, my boy Brian shows up. Huge shout out to Brian for always supporting the channel. I do appreciate you, brother. As usual, the best around. You're hard to keep up with, Brian. I know we've been all over the place. I try to stay as consistent as possible. I always show up late. I'm terrible when it comes to my schedule. My team is helping me work on that. So I'm always trying to do better and bring better content. I appreciate you for being able to catch us in this live stream, Brian. Huge shout out to everyone who's supporting the channel out there. Brian with a huge biddy on it, man. Come on. And imagine, Brian just gave me 1 XRP. That's what he did. After the flip of the switch moment, we're going to be at 50 at least. So I appreciate the 1 XRP, brother. And I'm sure Brian has a little bag of XRP too, not financial advice, but guys, I appreciate the support so much. All those glitches aren't glitches. Yeah, exactly. Why have we seen so many glitches? Right. What's up with code and August 27th? I don't know what you're talking about, Sammy. Are you talking about Mt. Gox? We can't confirm the actual date for when the Mt. Gox Bitcoin is going to be released, but they're saying the end of this month. Will there be further dips for XRP? Gary, I do think so. Yes, I am prepared. Yes, but remember that there's a situation where we go down, Tether implodes, systems go down, systems are hacked, where we're not going to be able to buy our XRP, so that's why I'm not waiting. I bought XRP, and I think I told you guys, I told my Discord, I'm like, guys, I'm buying XRP. This thing's going lower, but I just have FOMO. The exchanges are running out. That Ripple's not giving XRP to the exchanges, so I just went and bought it at 37, 38 cents. Here we came down to 33 cents this last week. Well, thankfully, I knew that was coming. I had some more money set aside, and I bought more XRP. When XRP goes lower, I will buy more. I've been buying XRP all the way up. We were just talking about this in our weekly call on Saturday. The highest I bought XRP was at $1.20, and it was last year, right? And I was saying the same exact stuff that I'm saying right now. I was worried about the exchanges running out of XRP last year. And now this has only been confirmed and been going on for well over a year now. Watching XRP and Ripple over the last 3 years, watching where that escrow is going, watching who they're doing partner with, watching on-demand liquidity growing 9 times year over year, watching the different corridors fire up. Remember, as soon as they get one corridor fired up in one country, that's game on, green light. Open up the pools of liquidity for all the banks, all the financial institutions, all the payment remittances companies. Send, open it up, full send. Brazil, the largest country in Latin America. We just got the on-demand liquidity corridor fired up last week. Huge shout out to Brad, Ripple, and team. We do not stop winning. It's so simple, guys. I am not paid by Ripple. I'm not affiliated by Ripple. I believe in them because they're a transparent company. I can see what they're doing. I believe in what they're building. They're serious players solving real problems. The program works. It makes sense. Five effing years from Scanlink. I feel you. And I see this comment a lot recently. And I mentioned this in one of my last live streams about how people are going to be offloading at $10. 90% of holders will be done from $5 to $10. 90% of retail. Because remember what I mentioned earlier. XRP goes crazy, but we're entering a new world. The chaos gets worse based off the data. Based off the data, the charts, all the technical analysis, it gets a lot worse before it gets better, right? Trying to sell my car to get some more. Yeah, it's important to stay liquid right now as we go through this time. Liquidity matters. Being able to buy assets right now over the next 12 to 18 months is going to be crucial. Businesses are going to be going on sale. Real estate's going to be on sale. Everything of, everything's going to be slightly suppressed here for a while. Actually, heavily suppressed depending on the markets. I mean, Canada is seeing the largest decline they've seen in history at this point. So it's important to stay liquid right now. The banks are tightening up as well. Bam, with the super chat. I appreciate that. More XRP or should I get more algo, HBAR, XLM, quant? I'm not going to tell you what to do, Bam. I appreciate the super chat. Here's the thing. Do they turn you on? Very simply. Do you believe in these projects? You know what I'm saying? Are you excited about these projects? Do you believe in their future? Do you see the team that's building something? How did their ICO conduct? There's a whole litmus test that I go through. How was their ICO done? It's very important, right? 90% of cryptos are going to go away, so we understand that. But algo, HBAR, XLM, and quant, I'm looking to buy those personally. I'm not going to tell you to buy them, and I'm not going to give financial advice here on this stream. But I am going to say that those coins get me a little bit excited. But I own none of them besides XLM at this time. Full disclosure. Like I said, I've always been probably the most transparent, one of the most transparent here on YouTube and here in the space with what I'm investing in, what I'm doing. Mike Shinnery, $5 super chat. I appreciate that, my friend. If the dollar collapses, would it be smart to cash out in other currencies, CBDCs? We're going to be taking probably loans out, leveraging our assets. That's my plan, at least. That's my plan with my crypto bag. If XRP goes to $50, I will feel comfortable leveraging it, taking out loans against it. I want to see, basically, I want to see us go through the lawsuit. I want to see clarity. I want to see what price we go to after that kind of flip of the switch moment and like the crypto era is set free, like fully. At that point, then I will feel comfortable going to any bank or financial institution and giving them, is putting out my XRP as collateral, but still maintaining control, right? But putting it up as collateral so that I can go buy an investment property, so that I can go buy a business, so that I can, do whatever I want with that money. Absolutely. I'm not looking so much to cash out my assets because I want to kind of maintain control of them because I believe in the long-term utility just steadily rising the price forever. Forever, until, for the next 20 years plus, right? Salamander, I appreciate that super chat. XRP, XDC, Quant, CRO, Luna Classic, Shiba, ADA, XLM are mine. Interesting bag, yeah. I understand why people gamble. I understand why people gamble on these Shiba, Luna Classics, right? You catch the pump. Basically, we were telling our community that at the end of October, basically going into the end of last year, we were saying, guys, the bear market's coming. This is the end of the party's coming very soon. So please take profits. But if you're accumulating some of these assets during this time because you think that SHIB's going to catch hype again, I can't blame you for that because these markets are irrational. They will continue to be. But for me, I've stayed away from the Shiba. HBAR is good tech. Will Songbird have more to gain than XRP because it's cheaper at 3 cents? I don't think that Songbird will have more to gain than XRP, no. Wow, that's exactly what I plan to do. Which bank do you recommend for going and, leveraging my bag? Well, I'm not trusting, basically, like, Nexo sounded kind of legit. Nexo seems legit. I'm not affiliated with them at all. But Nexo's program seemed kind of legit. But a lot of these new crypto decentralized protocols, these decentralized websites, these decentralized exchanges, I didn't trust. I basically don't trust anybody in the crypto space. That's kind of a good standard to have in this. And it's unfortunate, but just to be real, just to be straight up, and you guys know that I'm always going to keep it real, you basically trust no one in this space because it's a new asset class. And it attracts, unfortunately, a lot of people that are scammers, that are just, fly-by-night programs that are going to basically take the money and run. But for me, I'm actually more trusting of like going to a Bank of America, going to, Bank of America announces that they're a Ripple partner and that you can bring in your XRP as collateral for a loan. What the heck, man? I don't care. Whoever's going to give me the money, That's the whole thing with this system and getting debt is that's all business strategies, investing strategies. That's a whole other conversation. I don't need to go too deep on that. But yeah, I mean, the people, there's going to be plenty of institutions willing to take our XRP as collateral. For me, it's a matter of who can I trust, which I would trust more of these other traditional players than some of these new DeFi protocols, these DeFi exchanges, for sure. Delta Nicole's asks, talk a little bit about XDC. First off, we got Sam with the 5 spot. Thank you, Sam. I've been steadily accumulating XRP for almost a year and a half. I've spent 15 years in the gutter, Zach. I'm tired. I just hope we all make it. Sam, absolutely, my friend. Yeah, absolutely. I remember some conversations that we had in the past, Sam, and I think that we are going to make it. There are some good times. I think that we've invested properly. It's frustrating. I've been in XRP for 3 years. I've been a business owner for 7 years plus. And it's been a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice, not easy. But boy, do I get excited about the future, man. Sam, I understand where you're coming from, though. I appreciate it's hard to have that patience, and we appreciate that super chat. Delta, talk about XDC. Okay, so $19 trillion trade finance market. That's what really gets us going with trade finance and XDC, because they're already native. Basically, XDC is native to the R3 Corda. Like on the Corda Settler, I think XDC is the main one. I might be getting that wrong, but basically they're tapped in. They're tapped into R3 Corda Settler. And they do, what was it, 40% of transactions? 40% of something. I can't remember my numbers off the top of my head. But nonetheless, R3 Corda, massive. Absolutely massive. And XDC, they've basically integrated with them, and they've already got some pretty good partnerships. XDC is one that we definitely believe in, for sure. We've had some good conversations with Quincy too. If you've never seen the interview that I did with Quincy last August, it was about a year ago. One of my first ever YouTube videos, actually. It was when I really hadn't gotten YouTube started, but I posted my clip with Quincy on my YouTube. If you haven't checked out that interview, that was a classic. That was an oldie one, but it's still relevant today. Oldie but a goodie. Check it out, Quincy Jones on my channel last year. Basically a year ago, had a great conversation with Quincy. For those of you who don't know, Quincy is a developer that works at Zinfin. So he works for the company behind XDC. XDC partners with Dubai. I'll have to check that. I haven't seen that one. 9/13/22. Yeah, interesting dates. Huge month coming up. Guys, wow. Like, seriously, huge month coming up. September is going to be so massive. It's the end of this cycle, right? This is it. We're going to see huge amount of market volatility is coming in my opinion. Huge amount of market volatility. Most likely to the downside. Most likely to the downside. Most likely, I think that the next big event, let's just say that, the next big event, because we get events taking place every week, every month. I mean, look at what we covered, the first article that we covered, that Russian, the daughter of that ally to Mr. Putin over there in Russia. An innocent daughter died in an attempted assassination. It was very unfortunate, and that was the first article that we covered here. But what you're seeing, I got distracted. You guys are funny. Not innocent. Yeah. So I don't know. I can't get good information on whether she was innocent or not. Yeah. But that's what I was going to say. Sorry. Lost my train of thought there because you guys are hilarious in the comments. We're about to see the next big event probably in the next month or so. And I'm not here to throw out the next date. I'm not here to say, look out for this to happen then. I just have a feeling, though, that the next major big event, potential false flag, potential real, probably, these staged events are crazy. Let's just leave it at that, right? You guys know where I'm coming from. Let's just leave it at that. These staged events are crazy. The next big one, I think, is coming in September. So let's watch that closely. Let's pray. May God be with us. Who is this? Fishi? Fleeshy. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you for the super chat, 5 spot. What do you think about the executive order signing about CBDCs in the US and the final date being December 13th matches with the lawsuit timeline? Yeah, that just came out, right? That Biden wants to go cashless, right? That's what just came out. Biden wants to go cashless by December. Is that what they said? Love country grandma. I appreciate that super chat. Thank you very much. A little hot out here. Say we lose the SEC case, you think that it moves to get retail investors out of XRP? I mean, if they labeled it some sort of hybrid security, then yeah. Yeah, I'm on YouTube right now. We're streaming on YouTube. Actually, we are streaming on Twitch as well too. But yeah, huge shout out to the YouTube family. We're at 900 and nearly 950 viewers tonight. That's what we made it up to. I appreciate you guys for joining me. Garlinghouse has already moved on as if we list the case. As if we lose the case? Is that what you're trying to say? No. Staged events, if you know, you know, just saying. Absolutely. If you're tapped in, you understand. We all saw this coming, right? We understood that we had to go through this. We understood it had to be this way. Boy, the awakening, a lot of people aren't ready for that. A lot of people aren't ready for the truths that are going to be revealed. Just go look at all the people that just stitched me on TikTok. They all said, we're going to have this is what they said. So I put out a video talking about how Trump's going to be arrested, and that's what it'll probably be. The next big event next month, right here on YouTube. Well, hopefully I can say this to everyone, YouTube, TikTok. I love you guys. I'm so thankful for these platforms. I'm trying to, not offend anyone with these comments, but the next event, just calling it right now, I think that Trump's going to be arrested here soon. But I put out that TikTok, let's look out for that over the next month. That would be pretty interesting. I put out this TikTok saying that Trump's going to be arrested, but it's all part of him coming back to power. He's definitely going to be coming back. I think that when the United States courts settle this matter, he'll end up back. And whether he comes back in 2024, whether the Supreme Court hears a case in regards to it, multiple situations are taking place, so we'll just watch how that unfolds. But yes, I do believe that's part of it. I triggered TikTok, and it got 1.1 million views so far, this video. Got stitched by all sorts of people, and basically I triggered all these people on TikTok, and they all are stitching the part where I say Trump will be arrested. And then it's all these weirdos, and they're all saying, I'm going to have a party. I'm going to open up a bottle of red wine. I'm going to invite all my neighbors over and let my Trumper neighbors hear me having a party, and I'm going to have a great time. Like, my team's going to win. We're going to celebrate. I'm going to get crazy. One girl, crazy weirdo. She's like, I'm going to get Four Loko wasted like 2009. I was like, these people, I wish I could share this with you guys, but I don't think I can, but it's crazy. And they really have that mindset that their team's going to win when Trump gets arrested. Like, they're going to just like be celebrating. And I'm just like, wow, these people have no idea what they're in store for. And they're so emotionally attached to this thing. Like, to me, I just pray for these people. That's all I can say. I'm just going to leave it at that before I go any further. I'm just going to say that prayers for these people that, I mean, it's not a matter of rooting for Trump and rooting for my team. That's not where I come from. I come from where, like I just said in this stream, I hope that we can survive. It's just world stage events playing out here. We invest accordingly. We're going to, run it up if we can, but they're also wiping us out as we speak. They're running us through situations that we haven't seen in decades, right? And I don't think that it's the end of the world, but it's not going to be a fun time for America. I mean, these people think that they're going to be celebrating. I don't think so. And that's what I talk about with XRP. It's just being real, is that when XRP flips the switch, we're going to be, have some gains, but the world that we're going to be living in is going to be jacked up. It's going to be crazy. I mean, it makes me uncomfortable to see where it goes. You got the fleshy almost right. Thank you for the super chat again. Thank you for the constant content and keeping it real. I appreciate the support, my friend. Fleshy, I will work on that. I will work on that. Thank you so much. But yeah, some people are so caught up in this show, man. It's like, bro, really, I don't care, man. I'm more focused on what's my profit this month, what's my gross revenue, how much money am I bringing in, how much XRP do I have, how much silver do I have, how much food, how much essentials do I have to ride out a storm, how do I strategically relocate, go into hiding. these these crazies, man. These cities are gonna be nuts. Wow. Yeah, these cities are gonna be nuts. Trump said it will get worse before it gets better, but stay on board. Yeah, Trump's kind of told us what's going to happen, hasn't he? It's a perfect setup. He was really like created for this time. Trump is his own beast. It's crazy, man. He's like was created for this time. At what price point will I start to take profits on XRP? I can't speak on that here, Rick. I can't speak on that here. But as far as taking profits on XRP, I like I said, I'm going to take out a loan. I'm going to leverage my bag most likely. But that's because I have a plan. I have a business plan. I have an investment thesis that I'm executing on for all of the asset classes. Survive, meaning that the value of XRP will be status quo like a hedge, and we still have something rather than nothing, not the 4 to 5 digit predictions. I'm talking about survive as far as the health crisis is here. It's tough to get good water. It's hard to get good food. It's hard to afford good food. I'm talking about that type of survival, my friend. I'm talking about 10 days of darkness. I'm talking about lights go out, cyber attacks, systems are down, grid goes down, no power, no internet, communications, gone. And for all those that think that that's crazy, well, look at what's happening in other countries. All these other countries are a little bit ahead of us. The war front is in other countries, so we're just chilling here in the United States, having our barbecues, riding out the ending of summer. Everyone's running around like maniacs at the end of summer trying to get in all the, last summer activities. We're going into winter. We're going into an election cycle chaos, and we're going into a winter. And we're going into a volatile time, to say the least. I'm predicting right now that the next major event takes place next month. And I'm praying that it doesn't happen. I'm praying for peace with the World War III staged events, with anything that happens in this country. I'm praying for peace. I don't want war. I condemn all violence. Praying for peace, just to be clear. But it looks like I catch a vibe that next month we shake it up big time in a major way. There's a reason why in our recession to-do list, we put prepping and essentials at the very top. Elon's Starlink with a generator, all you need. Yeah, I know some people that just got Starlink. That's pretty cool. That's massive. That's going to bring on over 1 billion people that are unbanked and underbanked. That's going to bring on so many people. Kyle Horick, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, Kyle. Thank you. Farming is key. Buy some land and learn as much as you can about growing your own food. So that's the thing, guys, is I'm so real with these strategies. I don't just talk about it. I don't have, let me just, without saying too much, I don't have let me just say this. I'm growing with the available space that I have. I have potted plants, and I have a bunch of them. And I got peas, got green beans. I just started my second row, so I got a second wave coming in of plants as well. So I really do it. I really got my garden. It's what I use as kind of my zen moment. Is I get to water my garden, water my grass, keep a nice green lawn. It kind of it's my little And it's where we set up the blacktop grill and throw down on the griddle as well. So you know that that's going down as well. Speaking of Americans enjoying our barbecues to end off this summer before we go into absolute chaos, I am guilty and I am participating in the barbecues as well. But as I was saying, I really got the garden, I really got the plants, I really got the precious metals, freedom seeds, if you know, you know. And I just tell you guys that, you know, I've been buying XRP. I stacked up a fat bag of XRP, and with real estate, we're absolutely ready to move as well. Real estate deals are getting me very excited. Been developing a long-term thesis on real estate investing and how I should do it, how I should execute on it. So it's just a matter of I focus on my businesses because I want to bring in money. Then we can figure out what to do with it next. But we got to stack up a ridiculous amount of money right now as we battle an inflation crisis that we haven't seen in nearly 4 decades, as we go through a recession, depression that relates, compares, and even is worse by some metrics, by some of the data, than the crashes of 87, than the dot-com bubble of 2000, than the great financial crisis of 08, than the Great Depression of 29. The data, the metrics, the technical analysis is worse as far as the correction and cleanse that is yet to occur. So, yeah, I'm really about it, guys. I stay with it, and I'm talking about green beans. I'm talking about snap peas starting to come in right now. I'm a little bit late, but for me, guys, it's you allocate resources, you invest, and you let it go. And hey, if a couple plants die, that's fine. It's just like with the crypto space, right? You guys that have Shiba, you got your Doge. It's absolutely ridiculous, but you planted a seed. That's what this is all about. But I've always said, don't kid yourself. Don't play around. The most important thing is bringing in that income, number one. Getting your business up, getting your income up. Before you figure out what seed to plant next, you need to be able to plant a whole field. Diversify amongst all the asset classes. Salamander, Super Chat, thank you, my friend. XDC, Cardano, XRP, Stellar, Quant, Crow, or ISO. We'll see who all decides to have ISO messaging tied into their blockchains or make their blockchain compatible for the ISO standard. I think that's going to be big. I think it's going to be massive for getting banks, financial institutions. So it's a lot of hype speculation on who is ISO compliant. To me, it's just another bet. It's just, in our crypto garden that we've planted, if you want to pick up some of these other ones because you think that they have a chance, God bless you. I don't own any Crow, Quant. I have Stellar. I don't own any Cardano. Cardano just had a major flaw in the testnet, kind of exposed, kind of unfortunate. But yeah, nonetheless, they are better than a lot of the cryptos. Those cryptos do interest me. A lot of big words for a failure. See, the TikTok haters are coming in. You already know in the late night session, the TikTok, well, anytime I go live on TikTok, we got them pulling up. But it's always fun, and we always send love to them, and we say, how's your program working out, right? You know what I'm saying? They call me a failure. How's your program working out? Think food industry will make it through the storm? A lot of these industries get consolidated and technology disrupts them. Technology disrupts them. They start to utilize distributed ledger technology, blockchain. Yes, that's part of it. But then they also get consolidated. Mergers and acquisitions are growing. Mergers and acquisitions at basically like an all-time high, I would say. Countering the hate with love. Absolutely. 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 I just say good luck. God bless. Hope it works out. Yeah. Brazil and Australia are showing signs of using XRP for CBDCs. We already have a couple other countries that have built their CBDC on the XRP ledger. We have Ripple, part of the Digital Pound Foundation. So, yeah. My thoughts on XDC, it's a good, it's something that I'm interested in for sure. I think it has good potential. Growing palm trees here as well. Yeah, I was just buying plants today. I was getting some fresh house plants, but I'm worried. I never do good with house plants. But I really wanted to get some palm trees. They have these huge, like 6-7 foot tall palm trees. They had them at Home Depot, and I was like, gosh, those look sweet. But Ripple is a business in Wyoming, may turn into a bank. Yeah, Tommy, I think that's what we talked about that in our last live stream. Ripple Bank. So, yep, they've done everything that matters. Get succulents, yeah. Okay, I'm just catching up on some of your guys' comments before I wrap up this session. If you have any last questions, drop them down below. I'll try to pick out a few of the last good ones. I'm just going to take a few more. It's been a really fun session, though. If you guys could smash that thumbs up for me, I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much, guys. I think you're a good person. Hey, there we go. There you go. Appreciate that. Captain Fish Stick with the super chat, $7.99. What happens to the Mt. Gox narrative? Did I miss the buyback? Just joined the stream. P.S. I'm Australia. This country is communist. Yeah. Pretty crazy to watch what's been taking place in that country, Australia, for sure. Mt. Gox, we cannot confirm the exact date that they're going to be getting their Bitcoin, but it's going to be coming towards the end of this month, is what we're being told. They can cash out in US dollars, Bitcoin, or Bitcoin Cash is what they can receive. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin, or US dollars, I believe. So are they going to be dumping, I think it was over like $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. I don't know if that still holds with the price drop down to 21,000, but yeah, that's supposed to be coming at the end of this month. And then the Ethereum merge, I think, is going to be an absolute flop as well. And I think that's going to be a part of a huge sell-off in the crypto market as well next month. I think the overall markets get really jacked up over the next month. It's going to be crazy. And that's why it's so important to be, kind of tapped into something that can kind of show you where this is going. Not that you necessarily need to be trading the market, just being able to understand that, it's fine that we're going lower and being prepared for that time so that you can allocate more capital to these assets when that happens. Having capital set aside for crypto, having set aside for real estate. Real estate, I don't think is going to bottom out for a while here still. So, yeah, all of these assets, it looks like, go lower. So whether you want to buy real estate, precious metals, cryptocurrency, start a business, buy prepping, right? It looks like we go lower on all those asset classes. And by the way, if you are looking to get precious metals, you can head on over to my website and just hit that precious metals link at the very top. And you can get your 401k rolled over to precious metals, or you can just get gold or silver shipped directly to you. So if you need precious metals, just head on over to my website at the very top. You can fill out that form and see if you are a qualified investor. Okay, a couple qualifications. And if you qualify, you can get that gold or silver shipped directly to you, or roll over your 401k, which we talk about these stocks, man. We talk about the 401ks going down recently in our last live stream, and it's just so sad. Seeing family members, seeing friends, seeing people I know, seeing the numbers and the stories come out here about people that have been wiped out 10, 20% of their retirement account that already wasn't enough for them to be able to do what they wanted, to be able to live out a happy life in those retirement years. Like, it puts them into this struggle. Like, this is unfortunate, but hey, all I can talk about is our program and what we're doing and why it's not included, why I don't do stocks. I respect the meme stock hustlers and everyone who's trading in it, trading's different. But if you've invested in the memes and you're doing that deal and you're riding out that storm, good luck to you. But for me, unless I'm getting in pre-IPO or I can own a chunk of a private company on the back end, it's not something I'm interested in. That's not how the big hitters create generational wealth. They don't do it by investing in stocks. They invest in the company before it goes public and hits the stock market for the masses to buy up. Very simple, right? So for me, I don't allocate any of my portfolio. I don't have a 401k, but I know many people do. So if you're looking to roll it over, maybe hedge your bets here and just try to store some value at least. I think that we're going to get massive gains on the gold and silver eventually at some point, but could be here for a while. Patrick Olson with a 20 spot super chat. Thank you so much, my friend. Thanks, Zach XRP, for the win. Much respect from Alaska. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel, hitting that thumbs up for me, sharing the message. Really appreciate that, guy. And if you want to join my Discord community, you can head on over, join our Patreon, and you will get access to the Discord by doing so. Thank you so much, guys. Let's take a few more questions. Is long-term capital gains best scenario? That's something that you should and can avoid, or at least reduce. So make sure you have a good accountant as part of your team. That's definitely got to be a part of your strategy, part of your program. Get you a good accountant that can help you with a tax situation. And you might think that you don't really need to be on it because you're just a W-2 employee. You don't make that much money. You have very simple tax filings. You can do it with TurboTax. That's fine. If that's what you're on, if you're just riding it out, that's cool. But if you have a plan for building generational wealth, growing and preserving wealth, some of you, I know you guys already have it going on. You got to. And many of you guys, I know you already do, but definitely finding someone that can help you integrate digital assets as part of your tax strategy is important, but it's just a matter of definition. It'll be the same thing, whether it's tax as capital gains, whether it's treated as a currency, no tax. I mean, we're going to figure all that out with regulations and all that. But basically, at the time of this recording, talk with your tax advisor, but they're going to tell you that it's treated as property. So you're going to have short-term capital gains and long-term capital gains. So yeah, understand that. But if you take a loan out against your bag, consult your tax account, your tax accountant, your tax advisor. You take out a loan, there is no taxes on loans. There's no taxes on debt. So if you take out a loan, then you would not be having to pay out those capital gains tax. How do you see taxes for DeFi? It's messy. It's a gray area. It depends what the DeFi is. It depends what's going on. Why do I think the lawsuit is staged from Atomizer? Good question. I believe that the lawsuit is staged because they had to set up for a new world reserve currency. And they also had to set up all their systems and networks on the back end as well. Their pools of liquidity that are settled on their networks as they bring them into the 21st century and move them onto these blockchains, that took time. The CEO of Quant just came out and said that most companies have a 2 to 3 year strategy going forward for adopting cryptocurrencies, and their crypto strategy is going to take 2 to 3 years to implement. So, the central banks, the United States, and the Western banking powers had an incentive to hold things back while they got all their ducks in a row, while they loaded up, while they worked out pre-allocation deals with Ripple to make sure that they get $5 billion from the escrow. That's why we have the staged lawsuit. That's why we have the company Ripple caught up in this, and the XRP currency caught up in this whole issue. It's just like when Nixon took us off the gold standard in 71, right? Bad experience with Wonderland Time Fork DAO on DeFi Network. was minting $200 per day before rug pull. You are in a camp with many other people, my friend. That was one of the worst collapses that we saw in DeFi, was Time Wonderland. Remember, wasn't it 80? Was Time the one that was 80,000% returns, right? So you were minting $200 per day before the rug pull. I wish a system worked like what they did create, but it was a scam, and they were counterfeiting. Yeah, they were Yeah. It was a Ponzi scheme, right? Yeah. At the time, I said, "What do you think you're doing? You really think that someone's going to give you and be able to create something that gives you 80,000% returns?" Shane, you missed the start. Yeah, we've been on for an hour and a half this live stream tonight, and we just hit 10 p.m. on the West Coast. So I am going to wrap up this session. I do want to say thank you and God bless all of you guys out in this community. Like I said, if you're looking to get tapped in, head on over to the website. I will be going live. Remember, every Monday through Thursday, we're trying to go live at about 6:30 in the morning. And we also have decided to move our schedule around with the Rumble sessions as well, but I will keep you guys updated. But going forward, actually, instead of doing our Rumbles on Friday, we're going to be doing YouTube on Friday. So we think that YouTube, we have a little bit bigger of a party over here. We hit 1,000 people in the live stream on YouTube. I think we had a few hundred people on TikTok simultaneously joining us. And we'll see. I think that, we had thousands of people tuning in with us tonight here on a Sunday night session. But I figured that the Friday night slot should be a YouTube TikTok party like we used to do. So instead of doing my Rumble sessions on Friday, I'm going to be doing my YouTube sessions going forward. Quick schedule update. But, oh, by the way, the team's going to be putting out a newsletter and they're going to be putting out a newsletter and my schedule, my calendar. For everyone who wants to get access to that, head on over to my website and just fill out the contact form, put in the email, put in the description, just say, hey, want to get tapped into the newsletter, want the schedule. You can do that. Of course, if you're part of our Patreon community, if you've joined our Discord community, you get to see all that as well. But I do want to let you guys know that you can head on over to our website, fill out the contact form, and just put newsletter, put calendar, and we'll get you guys tapped in over there. But I appreciate all of you guys so much. Really excited for the future, what it holds. But in the meantime, we continue to pray for peace, pray that we're able to ride out this storm, and God willing, we will survive and thrive during the greatest transformation of wealth in the history of the world. I appreciate all of you guys so much. Hope you had a blessed weekend. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Take care.